I think a lot of us will put a maximum limit on what we'll spend on a sneaker, on clothing, on anything. But have you ever put a minimum price on what you'll spend on something just to make sure you really want it?
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ, back another video on Talks with TJ, and I'll keep this short, I'll keep this sweet. Saw a video, I'll go ahead and put the thumbnail here in the original video just to make sure that I credit that creator, and they do a lot of commentary on fashion. And they read an older article, and I'll go ahead and throw the article up here too so you guys can see, but they referenced an article of picking a dollar amount to purchase one item of clothing where it's such an amount that it hurts a little bit. Like an item should be expensive to a point that it makes you stop, pause, really think it through before you purchase it. And it got me thinking, because we definitely put max limits on things. Well, you know, an amount we'll spend, right? Like for an everyday sneaker that doesn't have to do anything with a collab, some people will have a limit on what they'll spend, right? Some people will say, I won't spend over $200 in a sneaker. So that doesn't mean if it's a regular pair or a collab, they will not spend that amount, right? I mean, there are people, quite honestly, that have thought that way about Yeezy. They just thought the price point was way too high. They feel the price point for retros, like a Jordan 4 is now like standard 210. They felt they feel that is too high now as well. Same thing for the Jordan 11, it's 225. So some people will set max limits on what they'll spend, and they abide by those. That's their guideline for shopping. But would you ever put a minimum on there? And the minimum is meant to, again, make you give pause, but also to maybe have you add a more intentional, long-term, valuable piece to your closet. So to keep you, I think, away from what people consider fast fashion. It's something that doesn't really have staying power in your closet. It's going to come and go with the trends, and it's not going to wear well over time. So maybe it's just super thin, but not thin and constructed well. So you're going to launder it once or twice, and you have to pretty much toss it out. Versus it being something of higher quality that will last. Now, mind you, higher quality doesn't always mean that it has louder branding or anything. Matter of fact, the higher the ticket item for an item, it could also be the better quality, but more subtle aesthetic. Take anything from Fear of God mainline. It doesn't really have a lot of branding unless you are looking at maybe the sweats, but if you're not aware of like what the ABC would stand for, or the 7 is present, then you're just like, hey, what is that? And it becomes a if you know thing. But a lot of items that are considered of higher value in terms of clothing, and it costs you more, it doesn't always have to be louder. So would you look to spend more to get an item that is better quality, maybe better sourced, better constructed, and will last longer in your closet? Now, I've done that for some items. I fully believe that, the camo pants, the nylon pants that I have, and a few other items will stay long term. But I've done that with other things in my closet, and they didn't cost me a whole lot. I mean, you guys have seen the hooded cardigans, which I absolutely love, and you guys have given me good feedback too on the hooded cardigans. Those are from H&M. I have some other things I'm going to show you guys soon. I got brand new blouses in. I got some new slacks in. Those are from H&M. I love H&M and Zara. I understand they're considered fast fashion and maybe the items won't stay. I think that's dependent on your style and what you're going for. For myself, I like a lot of Oxfords. I like the traditional prints of white, of blue, of the striped blue. I have another blazer on the way that's a plaid print that I think will go really well with quite a few pairs in my closet. So I think you can have fast fashion work. It just depends on what exactly you are buying from it. But I thought to myself, like, would I set a price point? And like, it has to be a price point to make you pause. But I think that's subjective, because what would make me pause wouldn't necessarily make you pause, or the limit may be lower, right? Like, some people have said even on sale, they wouldn't have bought the Fear of God camo pants at $238. For me, that was a bargain. They're normally $795. That's a 70% steal. So the $283 didn't really make me pause, because I realized that was the best deal that I would ever get. But I'm thinking like, okay, for a t-shirt, what would give me pause and ask how valuable is that t-shirt in my closet. And I can't lie, like I've spent $90 on t-shirts. My Brittany Griner t-shirt, which, you know, definitely thinking of her right now and that appeal. My Brittany Griner t-shirts, I have an Aces t-shirt on the way. Those were $90 a piece, and there wasn't really a pause there. Like I knew I wanted those, so I purchased those. So for t-shirts, I may have like, I would probably have like limits by categories. Like a shirt, I have to be like $100. For pants, $250 maybe. Shorts are probably gonna be just under that at like $200 because I've spent that on shorts before. Hoodies, I guess would be, what would give me pause for a hoodie? $250, maybe around like the same as the pants, maybe a little bit more. Jackets, I mean, a varsity jacket can easily run you $500, and it doesn't have to be anything special. It's just like what varsity jackets run you. So I think for me, it would be broken up by category for that item and how, you know, making me pause and think. But I also, as much as I think that's a really good self-restraint tool and self-control tool or exercise, I think you would miss out on a lot of things too. And I say that because the items that I picked up from H&M that I think look really nice, they're printed collared shirts that I think women and men can really get a lot of wear out of. They were only, I think, $25. So, you know, I feel like if you set that limit though, you would miss out on some really nice pieces. Maybe they don't stay 20 years in your closet, but I think they could stay for some time and you really enjoy them. So there are some pros and some cons to that, but I am curious, would you ever have a minimum of what you'll spend? So not a max, a minimum. Like I'm not buying anything that's less than this amount. I am curious, would you have that? Have you ever even heard that concept? Again, I'll put the original video down and then I'll also put the article here, but that just ran through my mind and I'm like, huh. So very different approach, but I see it. It could definitely help people if you're just buying, but you're constantly having to get rid of stuff. But that's also just part of the American culture and overconsumption that we have. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in to the short commentary video. Please go ahead and comment your thoughts below. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.